Did you know that small business clients who receive 3+ hours of mentoring report higher revenues and increased business growth? At SCORE Orange County, we're proud to contribute to this success. This past year, our webinars, workshops, and resources have helped launch over 200 businesses and create over 3,000 jobs. This short video will introduce you to the heart of our program, our mentors and mentees, and their inspiring stories of growth and achievement. Are you looking for that ultimate business advantage? Navigating the world of business can feel like a maze. But what if there was a guiding hand to help you unlock your business's true potential? Look no further than SCORE of Orange County. We have the secret sauce you've been searching for. Free business mentoring tailored exactly to your needs. That's right, at no cost. Our mentors aren't just any professionals. They are experts in every field, from tech to retail, finance to marketing.
When I first started my company, I did not know how to run a business. Right away, I got connected with SCORE, and they taught me everything I needed to know. How to write a marketing plan, how to read a profit and loss statement, and how to write a business proposal. My SCORE mentor could not have been better. She had my back from the start. She was non-judgmental, and I could talk to her about anything I needed to go over. I couldn't be more grateful for my time with SCORE. Thank you, SCORE.
It's time to rise above the rest and conquer your goals. Embrace the SCORE advantage. Unlock your next chapter and request your no-cost SCORE mentor. Visit our website or give us a call, because with SCORE, your success story starts now.
All right, Fareed, you are all set to go.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining our webinar program. The title of the webinar is How to Launch Your E-commerce and Start Your Online Business. So the learning objectives for this webinar is I want to cover everything that you need to know to have a solid foundation for your e-commerce business. Things like different types of business model, knowing e-commerce platforms, how you can build e-commerce websites, and know how to market your e-commerce. Of course, it's going to be very short, but at least you can highlight some basics. The audience that can benefit from this webinar is if you're just curious about e-commerce, maybe you are looking for new opportunities, maybe you want to start a new e-commerce business, or maybe you already have some experience selling online and want to see different options. The topics that I'm going to cover here are what is the e-commerce? Then we go to choosing a business model, understanding the e-commerce website, the attributes of a good e-commerce website. We talk about advantage and disadvantage of e-commerce, then the main features of an e-commerce website. The most important part is the e-commerce platforms. If you want to make an e-commerce website, how you can do that. Then we compare those platforms. We talk about marketing your e-commerce, hiring an e-commerce development agency just in case you need to hire someone. What are the good things about them? What things you have to consider? And finally, some case studies. I included some AI because I teach AI at university, so we are going to talk about AI as well. Before I start, a few words about myself. My name is Fareed Parvini. I started studying mathematics. I got my bachelor in mathematics, then my bachelor and master degree in mechanical engineering. I always wanted to be a university professor, so I went back to school again, got my master and PhD from USC, and since then I have been teaching at Cal State Long Beach, Fullerton, USC, Chapman, San Diego University, and these are some of the courses that I usually teach. And then you can use this QR code to connect with me. As far as my background, I had a couple of businesses. I sold 2 of them. business analytics group, which was a consulting business. We did market research, product development, and then AI, Web Concepts AI. We do AI development and chatbot development, AI agent development, and that kind of stuff. So enough about me. Let's go and see what's e-commerce. E-commerce or electronic commerce is the website that you can buy or sell products and services on internet. And it encompasses a wide variety of data, system, and tools from both sides, buyers and sellers. So there are some platforms that you can build e-commerce, and then we are going to talk about that in more details. This is our roadmap to e-commerce, and I go step by step. So the first thing that you have to decide is what do you want to sell? A product or a service. This is something that you have to come up with. Unfortunately, people cannot help that much. So you have to decide what you want to sell. And the next box is whom do you want to sell to? Who is the target? And these two boxes are interchangeable. Maybe you can think about, okay, these are good people that I can sell something. So you have the audience, you have the target, and then decide what you want to sell, because I have a good network and they trust me. So if I sell something, they're going to buy. Now, what should I sell? So these two boxes, as I said, are interchangeable. The next one is type of e-commerce. We have 6 types of e-commerces. B2B, which is business to business. B2C, which is a very traditional business to consumer. C2C, consumer to consumer. If you remember the old days of eBay, it was consumer to consumer. You had something you wanted to sell, and then you could sell it on eBay. Now it changed. Basically, eBay is now a hub for businesses. But still, you can use it for selling your personal stuff. But again, the majority are companies. And C2B, which reverses the traditional B2C business, is consumer to business. So for example, if you're a good photographer and you take good pictures, you can sell to services like stock photo and that kind of services. So those are businesses, and then you as a consumer can sell your product to them. So it's consumer to businesses. And B2A and C2A, usually they are related to government and then filing tax and that kind of stuff, either business or consumer, that we are not going to be concerned about those. So if you decide to start a business, especially e-commerce business, you have to decide which type of business model you want to adopt. Are you going to sell to businesses or sell to consumer? And then if you want to sell to consumer, are you going to sell as a consumer or business? So the first type of e-commerce you have to adopt. Then we go to another aspect of business model, which is very important. The business model that you choose should be profitable. Probably you're going to start a business to make profit, and then it's not a charity. So your business model should provide some profit. So it should be profitable. It should be defensible, meaning that if you start a business, your neighbor cannot do it easily because in that case, your business is not defensible. And finally, it should be measurable. You have to measure how much time you put, how much money you invested, and at the end of the day, how much money you made. So your business model should be profitable, defensible, and measurable. So based on these criteria, we check 5 different business models that exist. So these are dropshipping, reselling, white labeling, manufacturing, and making it yourself. And I quickly go over these. The first, so the point is, when we not check these 5 different business models, as I said, we have to check 3 criteria: profitable, measurable, and defensible. Your business model also should be something that you can afford to start. It should be easy to get started, because if you decide to do manufacturing right now and it requires a large capital to start, then it's probably not doable. So your business model should be something that's easy to get started. You also need to think about transition between models. So maybe you start with drop shipping and then make a transition to reselling or white labeling. So you have to have that in mind. So let's start with drop shipping. Drop shipping is invisible to consumer. Here you have customer and then you have supplier, and you are in the middle. So you have a website, you get the order from consumer, you pass it to supplier, and supplier is gonna send the product to consumer. So as I said, it's invisible to consumer. And there are four major benefits. The first one is low barrier to entry. All you need is just a website to get orders. You don't need to have a huge starting capital. You can start by like $20 per month, literally. There is no minimum order because you just pass the order. The next one is no fulfillment. There is no shipping, no inventory to count, and it's a huge thing. Third, it's location independent because you just have a website you can work from anywhere, and you can run it from beach. And finally, it's very scalable. If you get twice as many orders as normal, you don't usually have to hire extra workers. What are the drawbacks of drop shipping? If you remember, we talked about being defensible. So low barrier to entry, which means that it's not defensible. Anybody can start the same business. Low margin, because you have no control on the cost of the product, on the marketing, on the shipping. Usually the margin is very low. And sometimes shipping is complex because you get order from one client to 5 or 6 a supplier, and then it gets complicated. But the most important problem here is you have no control. You have no control over, as I said, the cost of the product. You don't have any control over shipping, marketing. You have no control, absolutely no control, and that's a problem. That's why usually people go to reselling. So reseller is a person that buys product from wholesaler, distributor, or manufacturer and then sell them through his website to other people. So if you know a market, if you have a niche market, you know, okay, this product is on demand, then you can buy it and then resell it. So that's a good thing about reselling. And you don't need to spend any money on R&D. And you have lots of control over shipping costs because in this case, you are shipping yourself. The next one is white labeling or private labeling. White label or private label is when someone makes a product and they put your label on the product at the end. So for example, if you go to a grocery store and you see a can of food with the name of that grocery store, probably that's white label. They are not making that product, they are just putting their name there. So this is white labeling or private labeling, and is a very popular business model these days. It's very similar to reselling, so most of the benefits and drawbacks are the same. But there are some advantage in white labeling, and these are the things that make it very attractive. So the first thing is you're able to do your own marketing. So I'm sure that you have seen people that when they want to buy a TV, they, for example, go to Best Buy, they check the TV, if they like it, they immediately search online to see if they can get a better price. Why they can do it? Because they are looking exactly at the same model, brand and model. When you do white labeling, people cannot do it because now it's your product. People cannot find it somewhere else. So you have control over the price, and then you can do your own marketing because now you market your product. You can build a fan base of loyal customers because now they are buying your product. And as I said, potential customers cannot compare prices and go and get it from somewhere else because you have control over that. The fourth business model is manufacturing. It's definitely a very good one. And of course, one of the most challenging ones because it's very defensible. If you want to build something, other people cannot do it. But at the same time, it requires a huge amount of time and money to invest. And you have control over everything. You have control over, copyright, trademark, and patent and everything. But prototyping is expensive. You have to do marketing, branding, and so on. And finally, handcrafting, which is manufacturing in a very small scale. So if you can create your own product on small scale, you can sell it. The good thing about handcrafting is it's very easy to start, small customer base, and direct connection to your clients. The problem with handcrafting is it's very time intensive. Price to time ratio is always a consideration. Sometimes it doesn't justify you spend like 10, 15 hours working on something and then you cannot even sell it with minimum $200, $300. And sometimes it's hard to sell. Going back to e-commerce, the first major e-commerce company, CompuServe, was founded in 1969, so around 55 years ago. So it became a long way, and then e-commerce has evolved significantly. But why people are even considering to have an e-commerce? Why you want to start an e-commerce business? These are the advantages. First, you can provide a faster buying for customers. If it's online, they can just log in, purchase something, and then receive it. They don't have to go to physical location. They don't have to wait in line, and so on. So faster buying for customers. You as a e-commerce owner can easily reach new customers. If you have a physical location, people are gonna drive probably up to 10, 15 miles to come and see your store, even if you are very good. But if you have e-commerce websites, you can sell your product or services all over the country, all states, or even maybe other countries. So you can reach new customers. Your operational cost is much lower because you don't have to pay for rent, you don't have to pay for employees all the time, and your store is always open. So you can lower operational cost. But one of the most important aspects of e-commerce is you can personalize experience. And then I'm going to talk about that in AI section, that how you can do personalized experience. The problem with e-commerce, let me see if and then I forgot to mention that, of course, your e-commerce business is always open. You can use the data that you collect for automated and customized emails, and procurement and buying and purchasing are much faster, more secure, and even cheaper. So these are the benefits of having e-commerce. The disadvantage of e-commerce is you have, of course, limited interaction with customers. You don't see them, you cannot shake hands with them, so limited interaction. Technology breakdown can impact ability to sell. If your website gets compromised, then you cannot sell it. You have to wait until the website comes up again. People cannot test or try on, so sometimes you end up having unsatisfied customer, and people feel empty-handed. Security and credit card fraud was a major concern, but with all these technologies that we are using now, we can address it basically to the level that people are not concerned anymore. Now let's look at the e-commerce website and see what are the major attributes of an e-commerce. your customers making purchase and how easy they can do this process is very important. Your website should provide a great user experience. That's why people are buying from Amazon, because it provides a great user experience. Buying is very easy, returning is easy, paying is easy, delivery is easy and fast. So you have to provide a great user experience. Your website should be search engine optimized because people they need to find you. So you have to do some marketing to make your website visible. Your website should be mobile friendly because more than 60% of people are using tablet and mobile phones. So your website should be mobile friendly. So these are the key features or attributes of an e-commerce website. Easy to use features, simple navigation, easy checkout flow, mobile compatibility. Your website not only should be mobile friendly, it should be mobile responsive. Mobile responsive means that the website adjusts the size based on the size of browser. So if someone is looking at your website by tablet, it should adjust the size of tablet. If you are using desktop, it should adjust itself. So it should be mobile responsive. You should provide some discount code and promotional on your website because all shoppers want to see them. Security features, payment processing should be secure and reliable. Social proof, validation from past customers, rating, reviews, and so on. So these are some of the attributes of a good e-commerce website. Now, I'm sure that the question that you have is, okay, I know that what a good e-commerce website should be, but how can I build it? So based on recent research, there are over 578 e-commerce platforms. E-commerce platforms are the softwares that can help you to build a website. And they are growing every day. So which one is good for you or best for you? Of course, you have to check the features. But there is no way that you can compare features of over 578 platforms. You can not even do it for 5. So to help you, this is what I did. I look at all the e-commerce platforms and I picked the top 10 based on the market share and put it here. So someone may dispute these statistics and say, you know what, no, WooCommerce has more share, but it doesn't matter. We are talking about 10 best platforms. And when you look at all these platforms, you can put them in 3 different categories. Regardless of the platform, you can put that e-commerce platform in one of these 3 categories. And these categories can be represented by one of them. And this is what I did. I highlighted 3 of them. So I picked Shopify to represent the first group. This first group are the group that are template-based. So 90%, around 91% of platforms, they fall in this category. They provide some templates. You pick the template, you upload some pictures, information, and your website is ready. So again, the common feature of all these platforms are they are template-based. The second group that can be represented by WooCommerce, they are not template-based, but they sit on top of another platform like WooCommerce, like WordPress. And then the third one can be represented by Magento. These are professional e-commerce builder. They require an expert to use that platform to create an e-commerce with that platform. And then they are designed. So instead of checking 578 platforms, you can decide which group is good for you. And again, to do this, I help you to compare them. People often ask me, how come Amazon is not here? Because Amazon is not an e-commerce platform. Of course, you can sell on Amazon, but it's not an e-commerce platform. You can have a page on Amazon and then you can sell. You can just go to sellercentral.amazon.com, get a new account, have your own page there. But you are at the mercy of Amazon. If one day they decide that we don't want you, you have nothing. So Amazon is not an e-commerce platform for you. Of course, it's a very strong e-commerce platform, but it's not for you as a business owner. So that's why we don't consider Amazon. So let's look at all those three groups that I was talking about. The first group that are template-based and can be represented by something like Shopify. So this is the Shopify website. You go there, you can start a free trial, and then you can just open your account, choose a template. They have a lot of beautiful templates, nice templates. So you can choose template. You can upload the pictures and product information. And in less than an hour, your e-commerce website is up. So this is the first group, template-based. The second one is WooCommerce, that can build e-commerce on top of WordPress website. And finally, as I said, Magento, which is a professional website builder. So which one is good for you? It depends on what you want to do. So there are some criteria, for example, customization. In this infographic, we have easy to configure on the right side of spectrum, customizable on the left side. So if you want something that's very easy to configure, you can go with Shopify. But if you want to customize something, heavily customized, you have to go with professional like Magento. And WooCommerce or BigCommerce are between. We have a lot of clients that they started with Shopify because it was easy to configure. And after like 4 or 5 months, they wanted to change something. They realized that, oh, it's not that easy to change Shopify because it's a template base. So they wanted to move to another platform. So the point is, if you want to change or customize your e-commerce down the road, think twice. Something like Shopify is not good for you. So as far as customization, template based on the right side of spectrum, very easy to configure, customizable on the left side. Services. So comprehensive means that the service comes like a pre-install. It's like getting cable for your home. When you get cable, they are usually come with 100, 200 channels, but how many of them do you use? Probably less than 5. So they provide those services. They are like filler, but nobody is using them, or majority of people are not using them. Same thing with comprehensive service. They provide a lot of services, but most of them is not something that you want to use. On the other hand, when you have distinct services, you can focus on the service that you want to use. And I always say, if you have a budget, I recommend going with distinct services because you can focus on what's important for you. You are not paying for the services that you never use. So again, on the left side, distinct services, you can have WooCommerce, you can choose plugins, and on the right side, of course, Shopify and BigCommerce, those template-based platforms. Speaking of add-on and integration, no matter how robust your e-commerce is, you always need third-party tools and services to grow your store. So you need to connect your e-commerce to your customer relationship management, CRM software, email marketing, lead generation, analytical tools, and outreach services. So regardless, you have to connect your e-commerce website to those services. And all these platforms, including Shopify and WooCommerce, have massive extensions directory, and they integrate with many third-party and services. WooCommerce is an open source, which means that the source code is available. A developer can get the source code, change it as if you like, and then come up with a new plugin or new code. There are over 55,000 free plugins and many more. So whatever service or feature that you want, or probably you consider, there is a plugin. And if there is not, you can easily hire someone to get the code, change it, and then create a plugin just for you. They have many paid, besides those 55,000 plugins, they have many paid plugins. And the developers are much cheaper because that's open source, and we can find a lot of software programmers that can get the code and then change based on what you need. WordPress sits on top of WooCommerce sits on WordPress, and WordPress has over 25% of market share. It's a very flexible, comes with a lot of marketing and promotional tools. You have a lot of customization because you can customize it very easily. It integrates with payment methods. And the good thing is you have the freedom. What does it mean? If you have a WooCommerce website and you are not happy with your hosting company, you can easily move your website from this company to the other company. But if you have Shopify, there is no way that you can do it. You got stuck with Shopify and you have to stay with them. You cannot do anything. So this freedom I really like about WooCommerce. The other thing about WooCommerce, it comes with a lot of analytic tools. As I said, 55,000 free plugins and more paid. It's very stable because they release new versions. If you have a good hosting company, maintenance is kind of easy and cheap. Recently, we had a client who had a website with Shopify, and then they were very happy with that. The only problem, they mentioned that on top of what they pay to Shopify as an account owner, to credit card, the percentage, like 2-3% that they pay to credit card, they have to pay a percentage of sales to Shopify, because that's the part of agreement that if you host on Shopify, you have to pay for transaction fees. Sometimes it goes up to 2%, and then this specific client, they were paying like $2,400 per month transaction fee. So this is something that I don't like. If you have a WooCommerce, you don't have to pay that one. Speaking of price, if you want to go with Shopify, you can start for free, and then you can open an account like $29 per month. Depends on the level of accounts, they charge you additional fee. And the development fee, if you want to change something, is usually very expensive. WooCommerce, there is no monthly, only you have to pay for hosting to the hosting company. There is no additional fee, but there is an initial development fee. These days, with around $2,000, you can get a very decent website. So again, to help you compare, and I repeat myself that I'm not comparing Shopify and WooCommerce and Magento. I'm comparing the first group of platforms that are template-based and can be represented by Shopify. The second group, which are like WooCommerce, they sit on top of another platform. And then finally, Magento, which is a platform designed for e-commerce builder. So Shopify, the good thing is it's very easy to set up, allow multiple channels and social selling and many teams, and a lot of good designs. The problem with that is it rated poorly for SEO in consecutive studies, unable to customize. Apps can add up and become very costly. If you need a developer, usually they are expensive, and inconsistent speed in consecutive studies. So, and this applies to almost all template-based platforms. WooCommerce is the best platform for SEO. Lots of experts are available, highly customizable, many marketing options and integration, but you need a good hosting because it sits on top of WordPress and you need a good hosting. And finally, Magento is very robust and feature-rich, strong SEO. It's very scalable and highly customizable. The problem is it's costly. It can easily slow down, require development skills. Support is costly, and then you need to have a good seller. Rule of thumb, if you want to sell like 10, 15 products, some platforms like Shopify can easily handle that. If you go over like 100 products, they get slow, and then they don't support, they are not designed to support like this. And again, this is rule of thumb. Maybe you have 120 SKU and products and it still works with Shopify, but usually rule of thumb is if you have over 100 product, you cannot go with something like Shopify. If you have over like 2,000 WooCommerce, and those platforms become very slow, and you need a professional e-commerce platform like Magento. Now, which platform is suitable for you? It's like renting a car. If you want to go to airport, you get Uber or Lyft. If you want to stay somewhere for 2-3 months, you can at least rent a car, and then for longer, you can lease or you buy. Same concept applies. If you have a couple of products that you want to sell, maybe you can even use eBay or Amazon. But if you are serious about starting e-commerce, you can start with something like Shopify for a short term, but definitely after 6 months, you realize that I need something like WooCommerce or custom e-commerce. Now, just imagine that you had your e-commerce, regardless of the platform. Now your website is up and running, and now you have to market. There are some market misconception. Some people say, okay, open your store and buyers will come. No, they are not. If you don't do SEO, if you don't expose your website to potential buyers, they don't find you, and they are not going to come to your site. So this is not true. Some people say I can sell any products of any quality. No, you should have a niche market. Just pay $5 for Facebook ads a day and you will be fine. The average cost of doing a Facebook ad per click is around $1.80. So $5 is not going to buy you that much. And other misconception, 15 years ago, implementing a custom e-commerce website would cost a lot, like $15,000, $20,000, but not these days. Today, as I said, with around $2,000, you can have a very decent e-commerce website that you own. So if you want to take it somewhere else, and then you can do it. So that's the thing. Now, how you market your e-commerce? There are 4 major digital marketing. We are just talking about digital marketing. If you use referral or you want to send like flyers to your neighbors, that's a different story. But if you want to do digital marketing, there are just 4 channels: search engine optimization, social media marketing, either paid or organic, pay-per-click, PPC, and finally, email marketing. Of course, there are many good webinars about social media marketing, either paid or organic. For PPC, the same thing. PPC means that you pay search engine directly so they can put you on the search result. So for example, you pay Google, when people search something on Google, they see you they show you as a sponsor and you have to pay them. Usually they are using billing system. Email marketing, of course, it's something that you can do. But here I want to focus on SEO, search engine optimization. SEO is a very critical for helping customers to find you. It's a very cost-effective to grow your business. In my SEO webinar, I compare investment, SEO investment and other investments, and then you realize that SEO is the best investment that you can do for your business. The effects are long-lasting and then making a great investment. So these are the 6 pillars of SEO success. The first thing is you have to review your buyer's persona, because SEO has 3 components, or three different components. The first one is personas, what your potential clients are searching for. So that's one thing. The second thing is keyword, the way that you describe your product or services. And the third one is content. So the content is a way that you glue potential clients' personas to your product or service description. If people, when searching for something, they find your product and your product has exactly the same description that they were searching for, who is going to be a better candidate to display? So that's how we want to do that. We want to make sure that you know what people are searching for, and we describe your product or services the same way, so they match. You have to qualify. You have to focus on qualified traffic. We had a client a couple of months ago. They said that our website has a lot of traffic, but they don't translate. When we look at the traffic, we realize that like around 85% of traffic is coming from India, and they have a dental office. So of course they don't translate to sales, because the traffic is coming from India and then for a dental practice. So you have to focus on qualified traffic. Sometimes you have to target long tail keyword. These days it's extremely hard to rank your website for some short keywords. For example, we had a client that they are selling laptops in Erwan, and then he said that I want to rank for Apple laptop. There is no way that you can rank for Apple laptop because you're competing with Apple itself. But if you want to rank for best Apple laptop reseller in Erwan, it's a long tail keyword, then yes, we can do that. You have to prioritize best-selling products. Focus on best-selling products. Improve your website usability. There are a lot of on-page that you need to do. And you have to get professional help. I have usually a webinar every month, what every business owner should know about search engine optimization. At the end, I put the QR code that you can find the next webinar about search engine optimization. If you decide to hire a development agency, you have to prepare some questions before even meeting them and discuss those major development stages. I put a list of questions that I want you to ask them, and unfortunately, we don't have time to go over this, but these are the things that you need to discuss. Major development stages, these are the major development stages you have to discuss with them. And then you have to protect your investment, warranty. A lot of our clients are clients who had the e-commerce website. They found an agency somewhere, or maybe a freelancer. They developed the e-commerce website, but after 6 months, when they wanted to change it, contacted the freelancer and then no response. Now they got stuck with the e-commerce website that they want to change something, or there's a broken part, and they couldn't even find the developer. So I want to make sure that when you start your e-commerce business, you work with someone that you know they are around. You can find them. You can go to their office. They are local. You own the design. You own the content. You own the code and everything. So these are just for protecting your investment. Let's quickly review the e-commerce roadmap. So as I said, the first two boxes, what do you want to sell and whom do you want to sell, are interchangeable, but you had to do yourself. Then it was a type of e-commerce. Remember, we talked about C2C, B2C, and so on. So you have to choose one of these type of e-commerce. Then you have to pick a business model. We talked about 5 business models: drop shipping, reselling, white labeling, manufacturing, and handcrafting. After that, you have to decide what's the scope of your business. Do you want to sell a lot of stuff for short term, or you want to have a business? Is it a temporary or permanent? Do you want how much ownership you want? Because maybe your plan is, okay, I want to sell this business in 2 years and I want 100% ownership. I don't want someone else to own the code or website. I want to own everything myself. And then based on this, you can decide which platform. Some criteria: how fast you want, how much is your budget. And we talked about level of customization and services. So when you have all this information, you can pick a platform and build your website. Now that you have your website, you can start marketing that. Do you want to do SEO, PPC, social media marketing, or email marketing? And finally, we want to talk about marketplaces and some samples. Since artificial intelligence is very popular, and I have a webinar on that, I want to go quickly over some options that you have with AI, especially when it comes to e-commerce. The first thing is all the websites that we create these days, they are connected to ChatGPT or generative AI. So by integrating ChatGPT in your website, you can provide an interactive and conversational experience to your user. They can ask questions, seek assistance, or engage in a dialogue and create a more engaging and personalized experience. So your e-commerce should be connected to generative AI. Personalization in e-commerce is significantly important. 10 years ago, when you had e-commerce, it was the same for everybody. I'm sure you have seen that when you purchase something on Amazon, they suggest some other products, similar products, but this is beyond that. With the help of AI, we can personalize the shopping experience for individual customers, not only based on purchasing history, but based on browsing history, demographic, and much more. So when you come to our website, what you see is completely different from someone else. If we have some, again, browsing history, shopping, purchase history, and so on. So we can customize even the look of the website based on what you searched before. Not only suggest product, but we can send personalized email. We do target advertisement. And this is the most fascinating feature of e-commerce that AI could provide. Predictive analytics. With the AI algorithm, we can predict trends, customer behavior, and future sales. So with all this machine learning algorithm, we can analyze past purchase history and browsing behavior to predict what product or services are in demand, and then what they are going to be interested. We had a major flower shop that they wanted to see, based on recent years data, how much flower they should buy next New Year or Valentine. because they have this data and they want to predict based on the trend how much they should buy. We talked about connecting your website to ChatGPT and generative AI. Chatbot is a very good example. Traditional chatbots are based on FAQ. So you define some questions and then provide some answers. So traditional chatbots go through this FAQ, and then if the question is listed there, they can provide answer. But this is, of course, very limited. With the help of AI, we can provide a real 24/7 salesperson or even customer support on your website. The chatbot can go and dig your documents and provide a relevant answer. They can have all the information about your product and services and then answer anything about those. So they can handle all the customer queries and then provide a very good and relevant response. With the help of AI, we can do visual search and image recognition. Supply chain and inventory management, they are significantly improved. You can optimize inventory management, reduce costs, and predict future inventory. 10 years ago, if you had an e-commerce, you had to go to your competitors and see how much they are selling similar products and then adjust the price on your website. With the help of AI, we can dynamically adjust price based on demand, competition, and other market factors, and you don't have to do it manually. Voice commerce, you are familiar with that, voice commerce. Sentiment analysis for brand perception is very important. When you post something, of course, people say, okay, I have a Google My Business, and then people can go there and provide feedback, negative or positive feedback. But what about what they write on Facebook, Instagram about your product or services? They are not black and white. They are not predefined. So with the help of AI, we can easily go and read all the comments about a company, about a product, and find out what's the public sentiment about that brand or product. We can improve data privacy and ethics and prevent fraud significantly. So let's look at some case studies. For example, Burberry, they are a luxury retailer and they are using AI. So they integrated AI to enhance in-store experience and provide personalized shopping. They analyze customer preference based on purchasing history and behavior and identified the impact of product image on online sales. They have also an AI loyalty program that improved the customer retention. Coca-Cola, they are using AI in customer behavior and marketing. They have AI-powered vending machines that personalize product recommendation and analyze social media data to understand brand engagement. And again, customer loyalty program. Domino's, they are using AI in order processing and delivery. They use AI for quality control, order processing, and automated delivery. They have an AI-powered pizza checker that ensures consistency in the pizza's quality. So these are some of the examples of using AI in e-commerce. I want to show you some case studies. This is a very classic website. So in this classic website, you have products, you have SKU, and then, of course, people can select and check out. This is a very improved e-commerce. They have login page for customers. They have store locator. They have Insider, which provides another tier of price for Insider. They have newsletter and so on. This is a commercial e-commerce website. This customer, they have around 30,000 products. The website has everything that you need, different brands. You can return it, you can access accounts, you buy as a bundle, latest products, new products. And this is something that you cannot do it. In no way you can do it with like Shopify or even WooCommerce. You have to have a platform just designed for e-commerce. This is very interesting. This is one of our clients. They created a marketplace like Groupon. So here's one of our clients. He's a dentist, but he said that, okay, I want to have a website like marketplace for other dentists. So they can put their product here and people can buy those services in discounted rate. So as I said, this is like a Groupon. It's a very good platform for consumers so they can find the same service cheaper. It's very good for the service providers because again, they can have a new channel. And of course, it's very good for e-commerce owner because it's a continuous revenue for them. They don't do that much. They just get the membership and then put it here. We had some NFT websites 4 or 5 years ago, which they were very popular. And this is another interesting case. We had a client, they said that people in Africa, they are very wealthy. They love to buy from American stores, but they can't because first of all, they don't have credit cards. Second, they cannot, nobody ships there. So they come up with the idea that, okay, if we can have an e-commerce and connect it to all American websites, then people can come here. From here, they go to any store that they like, buy whatever they want, and then we purchase for them and ship them. It was a very beautiful business. The e-commerce website was working great because you could easily connect all major e-commerce websites, and then it was a very successful business. This is a checklist for starting the business just in case. Actually, the last slide, I don't know what happened to that. Let me see, I wanted to show that one. Hide slide, slideshow from current slide. If you have a website, send me an email to this email, score@webconcepts.ai. This is an email account that I just created for Score people. I check this email. If you have a website, send it to me, and then I'm gonna analyze your website, do free consultation of the e-commerce part. If you are a local business, I can check local listing reports and send you a complete SEO reports. No obligation. We are not selling anything. You don't have to buy anything. I just want to help. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon.